living country.
This mandolin was given to me by Hank Williams Jr. Doing a bonfire jam session with a friend of mine, and he's a good friend, apparently, with Hank. This is where I remember I was sitting right here. I had my mom's big red guitar. There's a picture of me with it. And Hank took it, and there's a picture of Hank holding it and looking at me and looking at the guitar, and he said, "Son, we need to get you something a little bit smaller that you can actually play." And sure enough, a couple weeks later, here it was, mandolin with my name on it and his name on it. And I was like, that's pretty awesome that someone of that stature would actually think of that after he left the building. It was pretty cool.
At first, I don't think Hunter ever, I don't think we ever bought a guitar for you.
Yeah, everything I had for a long time, gear-wise, like guitars, all my amps, everything I played on for a long time was just gifts.
You know, that saying, it takes a village to raise a child, and that is very true.
So this is my neighbor, Mr. Jimmy Young. Oh, he looked after me quite a lot when I was living here in this house.
My 50th birthday, he sang for my 50th birthday.
I did.
I was only about like, what, 3 years old?
Yeah.
No, you're shorter than me.
He had grown up with a very close-knit family environment, and I now know how much support he had from local people that were in or tangentially in the music business. He had this kind of band of followers that were supportive of him.
Look at here, hey, what's up, boy? What's up, man? How you doing? Well, how does it feel to be back home, man?
That's good.
Ah, we spent many nights in here, huh?
Heck yes, I've lived in this place for quite a while.
I don't know that there was ever anyone who ever met Hunter that didn't want to do something for him to help him.
This is Eddie Bodan. This is his place. This is I can honestly say I lived half of my high school life here in this very room. Jimmy Uze. Jimmy was one of the first people to ever bring me up on stage, and Fabian Champagne. I played with these guys. This was my first ever band that I ever played with, the first ever musicians to sort of take me under their wing and believe in me and kind of show me the ropes of music.
People that really deserve credit are Leo and Lynette, his parents.
Dad was working as a boat mechanic. He's done that his entire life. I mean, even when he was working other jobs, he'd come home and he'd do boat mechanic type stuff, you know, sort of on his off time.
You know, we were very blessed in a lot of respects. And, there were some people in our lives that sacrificed for us as well. Business people. As my former boss, he was very tolerant of my time off.
Hunter was playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, his parents had jobs, so his parents were using their vacation, going out with Hunter, coming back, going directly back to work with no sleep. They were doing that weekend after weekend.
Whatever it took, if that's what he wanted, then of course I would have done that.
You know, we look back at all the things that we did financially. You know, we stretched ourselves out a lot to do things, but we always felt like if you give your children the opportunity to succeed and you give them the best tools possible, then success will come at whatever level that person can achieve.
Never knowing, and I think frankly never expecting him to reach the level he's now reached. They wanted him to pursue his dream, however big that dream was. And there was no timeline, there was no pressure, there was no requirement. They weren't saying, you've got to be a star.
There's a gentleman that y'all met today. Excuse me. He's the guy who lived across the street from us. He sat me down one day and he said, always think about this. Are you doing this for you, or are you doing it for him? And for a while, it was something I gave a lot of thought to.
I saw all that. I was there from the get-go, and they're good friends of mine, and they just allowed him to do what he did. They wasn't that pushy. A lot of people, maybe some people might say they were pushy. They wasn't pushy at all.
I asked Lee if he thought that we should continue to pursue the music with Hunter, And Lee said, "It's not your choice, it's his."
You know, we would talk a lot about that, me and Leo, you know, and I'd say, man, just stay with your son, just guide your son, you know, and let him, and just allow him to go ahead and just sing the songs.
And they had sacrificed, very obviously, with financial support and their time to put him in a position, frankly, to be bigger than he was. And they had obviously made it gladly, and you knew Hunter had no idea.
They never let on. I mean, they never showed their cards. They never. I never knew when money was tight, when things were stressful. I mean, that's what made me feel like it was all going well. It was like, yeah, this is going good. This is going great. You know, I didn't know any better.
So I don't question anything that we did. I'm really excited about how far he's come and how much he's grown as a person, as a musician. I'm really excited about where he's at. So.
Welcoming home Atlantic Nashville recording artist Hunter Hayes. Yay!